Okay, Oak Rovers, this is going to be a video that's going to help you set up and solve proportions in what I call percent is and of problems. Now, if you look what I have written down already, this is kind of a double number line is what I call this. That's what I did with the other proportions, the part to part and the part to whole ratios. I made a double number line. And the reason I do it, it really helps me set up a proportion really well so I can solve it very easily. Now if you look at my double number line, on the bottom I'm going to have percents. So I start off at 0%, this percent is unknown, and then I have 100%, and then I have a labeled percent. On the top I'm going to have my numbers of the problem, my other numbers. Not percents, but the numbers from the problem. And I start off at 0%, and then part of the total is going to be right here, and then the total or the whole is going to be the same thing as 100%. And I have that labeled just as numbers. So let's see how this works when I do a real life problem. So I'm going to click on that problem here. There we go. It says what percent of 600 is 390? Now the two things that I always do is I always look for the word of and I look for the percent when I do these problems. Now the word of, what comes right after that, usually gives a clue to what the total or whole is. Of 600, that means that there's a total of 600. So I'm going to put 600 in the whole or the total section. Now the percent, it says what percent? And what that tells me is I don't know the percent. That's what I'm missing, or that's what I'm trying to find in this problem. So in math, oftentimes we put down question marks or X's. I'm just going to put a question mark because that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the percent. Now the part of the total, or the part of the whole, in this problem is going to be 390. So I'm going to put that right under where I have part. Now if you look at it, it's a very easy cross-multiplying problem. My numbers are X and 600 and 390 and 100%. So when I cross-multiply, I take 600 times question mark, and that's going to be equal to 390 times 100%. Then if I multiply those out, I'm going to have 600x is equal to 39,000. Then if I divide both sides by 600, I should get my answer. And in this case, my answer is x is equal to 65%. Let's look at a different problem, because in this problem, my unknown was the percent. But sometimes the unknown is going to be the total, or the whole, or sometimes my unknown is going to be the part, or what follows after is what they sometimes call that. So let's go to the next problem, the next page, and see what I have. So here's the problem here. 35% of what number is 161? Now again, I look for the word of, and I look for the percent. Well, 35%, that's really easy to see, so I'm just going to put the 35 in the percent piece, and that's going to go right there. It says of what number? So the total is going to be what number? I don't know what the total or the whole is because it says of what number. Like I said, the word of is going to be a key word. You always look for the word of and the percent. And it says of what number? That means that's the unknown for this problem. So I'm going to put a question mark down for that. Is 161? Now the 161 is going to be a part. So I'm going to put that right here. Now it sets up for a very nice, easy cross-multiplying problem. I'm going to take 35 times question mark is equal to 161 times 100. So I write that down. 35 times question mark equals 161 times 100. I multiply that out, and I get 35x is equal to 16,100. And then I undo my multiplying x by 35. The opposite of multiplying by 35 is dividing by 35. So I'm undoing multiplying, doing the inverse of multiplying, and I should get my answer. And in this case, my x is going to be 460. So the total number would be 460 in this problem. Let's do one last one. Okay, so up to this point, I've had my whole or total's been my unknown, my percent has been my unknown, and in this case, let's see what the unknown is. 22%. So I'm going to put my percent. I'm going to put 22 there. Of 650. Of is the total. So of 650, when I see the word of, what comes right after that is going to be the total, or the whole. And the whole is the same thing as 100%. And then on this problem, I'm trying to find what part is 22% of 650. So I'm going to put a question mark there. Now if I cross multiply, I have 100 times my question mark is equal to 22 times 650. So I'll just slide that down, I write that down. Then I multiply it out, 100 times question mark. In math we don't use question marks, just variables, we usually use x's. So 22 times 650 and 100 times question mark is going to be 100x is equal to 14,300. Then I can divide both sides by 100, which I show there. And then my answer is going to be x is equal to 143. So these are the types of problems you're going to have today. Hopefully they helped you out. This video helps you out, and hopefully you'll be able to do them. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask me as you're working, and I'll be walking around trying to help you with the problems.